Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video I want to talk a little bit about the state of Druid after the Guardian Animals nerf and take a look at the Guardian Animals Druid as it is played right now on the ladder. After Guardian Animals was nerfed, that meant that Druid is no longer a top tier class. There are no top tier decks for Druid at the moment, but there are several playable decks. Guardian Animals Druid remains a playable deck, especially these King Forest variants, of which there are two little bit different approaches. There's this vanilla approach, and then there's one with some dragons included, which is actually the Forest deck that I showcased in my last Druid video before the nerfs. So the difference between this list and that list is that this one has 2 Wild Growths, Speak a Kid Run Nature Studies, whereas that has 2 copies of Breath of Dreams and 2 copies of Emerald Explorer, so slightly different takes. Then there's some spell druids around, there's some quest druids around, but none of them have really risen up to be a top tier deck, and in fact these sorts of forest decks still seem to be the best performing druid decks. Actually the one that was showcased in my last druid video is currently the best druid deck that you can play with the dragons in it, but this one is not far behind and I wanted to play something a little bit different when I was playing this. With Guardian Animals coming a little bit later, it's more important that you have multiple ways to defend yourself. Crystal Power is an excellent early game card, helps you defend. Animated Broomstick, if you don't have Guardian Animals, or now also if you don't get the mana to do Guardian Animals early enough. Broomsticking something like a Lake Treasure, for example, can really help you turn the tide and defend. The overall game plan of the deck is still to ramp up and use Guardian Animals. Wild Growth, Overgrowth. These are the cards that you want in your mulligan. Wild Growth, Overgrowth, Guardian Animals. You still want to ramp, get to the high mana total, get your big swing turns, move on from there. Because Guardian Animals costs more now, then the importance of Anubis Defender has increased, so that you can get even bigger of a swing when you manage to get your Guardian Animals and you get that free Anubis Defender on the side. Or alternatively, you sometimes need to just play an Overflow instead of Guardian Animals earlier and you can get a little bit of taunt defending while you do that. And between all of these big minions that the deck has is around those portals. King Forest giving you a bunch of big minions, and then the survival of the fittest to buff your existing board or to buff the minions in your deck. This deck still carries plenty of threats with it. However, the Guardian Animals nerf means that it is more susceptible to phase decks. Real pure aggro decks like Phase Hunter now have a little bit more time to kill the Druid before Druid stabilizes, and it's also more susceptible to control decks, because control decks now are able to have more mana at their disposal when Druid gets all those minions on the board, so control decks are able to better remove them. Previously, Druid beat the control decks basically by ramping up, and then before the control deck had enough mana to use their removal spells, Druid was already killing them. And now it's a little bit more difficult to do that, and that makes these Druid decks now reach just slightly above 50% win rates according to HS Replay statistics. Overall though, the Guardian Animals nerf has turned out to be a fairly good nerf, in the sense that it didn't completely kill the decks are still playable, they're just not tier 1 anymore. But if you like this playstyle, you can still do it and you can still succeed with it on the ladder, even though it's a little bit more difficult now. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also support the content that I create by joining as a member here on YouTube or joining as a subscriber on Twitch, where I livestream 6 days a week, so check down below for a link to my Twitch channel if you're interested in that. And now, let's go take a look at Post-nerf Guardian Animals Druid in action. Alright, I want the ramp. No ramp, but there's a lightning bloom. Okay, so if I can top deck some ramp, I should still be fine. Let me see.
Oh, it says explode.
AAECAZICBNigA. Twilight Runner, alright. I don't think I could afford to spend all of this to get the Twilight Runner on the board. I might want to take a hit over there, in case I top deck like Crystal Power and want to kill it, because that card could be a cram session. So disappointed in the new Paladin skin. It was a cram session indeed, but I couldn't kill that minion. Well, that's 5 additional mana, so I could get the Guardian Animals out there this turn. But I guess I will. Let's give it a try. 8 mana, Guardian Animals. I need to pick up Twilight Runner, which is excellent because that gives me cards. Alright, still no ramp though. Simple devolving missiles can make these minions a lot weaker. We'll see. I will have no mana next turn, so I can't even do a Crystal Power. And there was the devolving missiles. I was kind of expecting that. It's not terrible. When it's forced, devolving missiles forced early before any buffs or anything. There's at least some upside to it. Hi, Dave. Alright, I managed to force a lot of one-cost spells that the mage wanted to save for later. So that's an upside. This looks like Twilight Runner on 5 into Overgrowth on 6. That's how I think this game is going to progress. But we'll see. Discovering more spells, getting one-cost spells, so there could be another devolving missiles coming. Alright, that was another devolving missiles. That's good because that was the one that was higher probability to be devolving missiles. I want the Twilight Runner on this board, I believe. Yeah, I do. Let's get that out there, and I think that one's going to trade away one of the minions. Let's try that one. Discovered spell, random spell. One main deck devolving missiles is gone, and there's no random one-cost spells in hand right now. Obviously, the discovered spell could be a devolving missiles, but we'll see. Next turn will be the Overgrowth. So I will go from 6 mana to 9 mana. If I do Overgrowth Nature Studies, then I could play a 9 mana Survival of the Fittest. But I could also play that after King Faris, potentially. Try to get a bigger swing. We'll see how it goes. Now there are another 2 discovered one-cost spells. So with the coin, there could be a devolving missiles now. No devolving missiles, however. That's a piece of good news. I want the cards, right? I think I want the cards now. Kill the Spellkin. Instead of just pushing face. Kill the Spellkin, get some cards. Alright. And this is going to be the Overgrowth. So next turn I will go to 9 mana, and then I can innervate the King Faris now. Do I want a 1-drop from King Faris with the Nature Studies? No, I want a real. I want an expensive card. An expensive spell for an expensive minion, like that Hidden Oasis. Is this one going to take the trade to... Yeah, I suppose it can do that. 7 cards in hand. Next turn I will play the Innervate first, which will make all of my spells cost their regular cost again. And I will be able to do King Faris. So trading the Nature Studies for that 6 mana spell. But we'll see what the Druid is able to do now. Mage is able to do now, of course, because I can't do Faris and Broomstick on the same turn yet. So let's see. This turn will be the Innervate. Will it? It could also be like Survival of the Fittest. Faris summons 5 minions, so the board will be full after Faris. What if there are freezies in hand? There are some discovered spells there. Well, there are no Doomsayers in that deck. It's always just going to be Innervate Faris. Hi, Severin Blade. Alright. It's an okay board. Colossus is obviously a scary 10-drop. This sort of deck can typically keep individual things frozen at least for an extended period of time. Not always able to keep like multiple things frozen. Needs to hit some AoE freeze spells from the random effects to make that happen. Well, there is the Frost Nova. That was the random spell that they wanted. So I have the option to kill this, to deny that +2 spell damage. Or I have the option to give everything +4/+4. Which one is it? What if there's a lot of spell damage and then there's like a Flame Strike deals 6 and... it's gotta be survival of the fittest here. Let's see. Now there is some spell damage coming. But how many more freezes can the mage discover? Because that, against a board like this, the key question really is the discovered freeze effects. Well, I mean, mage can discover indefinite freezes. It is possible. It is definitely possible for the mage to do that. But whether the mage will be able to is the big question. This is a key discover. Is there a Frost Nova again?
Runs out on me. Someday I'll be just like you.
Or like here. Is that a Frost Nova? No, but there was an Arcane Explosion into a Devolving Missiles, which is unlikely to do much. Into an Evocation. Then the mage ran out of time a little. Alright, so it's a victory. Okay. Right. Let's see about this Demon Hunter. Not happy about pulling those treasures here, of course. I would like to find ramp. Well, I mean, it just isn't a great deck. What can you do about it? Okay, so I have Lightning Bloom Coin Overgrowth. That's an option. What if I do Lightning Bloom Overgrowth on 2, then I overloaded on 3. Then on 4 I get to play the treasure with the broomstick. I will hold the coin. That's acceptable. I don't think spending the bloom and the coin both right here is good enough. Because I will still have the same turn with the treasure broomstick play as I would have with just the bloom alone. So this is the bloom overgrowth. 5 mana next turn, only 3 effective mana. But that's okay. And then 6 mana the turn after to be able to play treasure broomstick. And then I could still coin Guardian Animals the turn after that if I find it. For example. Taking some damage, of course. There's the Guardian Animals. So I'm just chilling for now. My next turn is the treasure broomstick, and the turn after that is the coin Guardian Animals. Is that going to be enough? Who knows? I sure don't know. Battle Fiend. that's a lot of... That's a surprisingly minion-heavy board for the Soul Demon Hunter. But it's okay. It's the treasure and the broomstick. And I get rid of a few of these minions. Like that. It's still possible that I will end up taking too much damage. We'll see how it goes. But next turn can be the Guardian Animals. And it's not aggro. Some people just decided that putting Battle Fiend in your Soul Demon Hunter is a good idea. Which it isn't, but some people think it is. Alright, then it is the Guardian Animals. So I could have this down to 2 health and this one would be at 4. So it doesn't die to the easiest AoE play. I suppose that's what I want. Like this. Okay. So far so good. I mean, there's tons and tons of damage left in that deck, of course. Yeah. But I made that play around the Shard Set Mystic here. Because I could do like Speaker Ghidra. I could do Lightning Bloom. I could do Innervate Ghidra Overflow. No, Lightning Bloom Ghidra Overflow. I'll be overloaded next turn.
Curious.
It's fine. It's fine. I could also do Lightning Bloom Survival of the Fittest now. Also overloaded next turn.
Standard time run low.
Nature speaks for you.
I'll just do it like this. I probably needed to play both of the Anubisats to play around Blade Dance, right? Yeah, that would have played around Blade Dance a little. I think I should have done that. Obviously, an 8/8 is still something that the Demon Hunter will have to fight a little to handle. It's not simple. There can be a silence effect, of course. Well, does that imply that there's going to be another one of these next turn? Possibly. I have one Twilight Runner in the deck. If I innervate the Guardian Animals, I can kill that. I will draw 2 cards. I'll get 16 to the face. Now we're going to give it a try. Innervate Guardian Animals, pull that Twilight Runner, use that to kill the Claybound Adept. Can't use that one, but I can play another Anubisat Defender. Although there could be a Blade Dance, of course, coming next. Well, that was all I could do, I guess. So that's what we go for. And now it's going to be a Blade Dance. Demon Hunter had 2 cards in hand. Demon Hunter kind of needed those 2 specific cards. Could have been a Slice 2, of course. Could have been a Slice 2. So I don't currently have a Broomstick in hand. I could try to draw into a Broomstick. And also see what I can pick up with this. A Wrath will do. Yes. Wrath and Crystal Power. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Play Taunt minion on the board. Hero Power face. Demon Hunter has 0 cards in hand. So now the Demon Hunter needs some big top decks. But they could happen. Like Sociologist would be a great top deck. Marrow Slicer a little less so. It's not terrible. It's not immediately game winning either. And I believe this turn will be the Ysera. I could do Survival of the Fittest, push 8 to the face. Then the Demon Hunter needs... How could the Demon Hunter even survive if I push 8 to the face?
How curious.
With Silence. Or with Militia. Yeah, those would enable the Demon Hunter to survive. I think Ysera is safer. I think Ysera is still safer here. Because Militia would give a full board of 3 trees. And in order to counter that, I would need to try something special. Or then that can happen. And then I just win immediately. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.